Muy buenas tardes a todos. El día de hoy vamos a tener interpretación simultánea a través de la reunión. Si ustedes hablan español, deberían de estar en el canal 1, pueden ver su aparatito, y si están en el canal 1 estamos bien. Los que hablan inglés van a estar en el canal 2. If you are an English only speaker, you should be on channel 2, so if you're on channel 2, you should be good. And you just set it, it's already turned on, you don't have to really fidget with it. If you're not hearing us, just raise your hand. We're not interpreting into channel 2 yet, so, but let me do a quick test. Probando en el canal 2 en inglés, ¿nos escuchan? Déjenme saber si escuchan, canal 2 en inglés. Hola, buenas tardes. Okay, todo bien. All right, so that's how we will conduct today's meeting. We will have 2 channels throughout the meeting, even including breakouts. During the main session, we'll be on channel 1 and 2. Breakouts, we will be switching channels based on wherever your breakout is. So and the interpreters will help coordinate everything to just make sure that we're on the right channel. But feel free to ping one of us. Raise your hand if you're not hearing us at any moment during the meeting, because we do want to make sure that everyone can hear. So feel free to just raise your hand and we'll come around. Gracias.
Great, thank you, Reina. At this time, I want to make sure that everyone's equipment is working. If you could please raise your hand if you cannot hear me in the Spanish channel in your ear right now. ¿No sirve? Anyone else having audio issues? You can hear me in the Spanish channel? You can hear me? No soy en... Okay, we have another one right here, please. Spanish. Anyone else having trouble? Those of you who are listening to me in Spanish? All right, let's do one more test. If you could put your headset on. If you're listening to me in an interpretation, you should hear what I'm sharing in Spanish. If you cannot hear me in the Spanish channel right now, please raise your hand. ¿Se escuchan? ¿Me pueden escuchar? ¿No? Now you can hear me? Okay, we're good. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. It looks like all of our equipment is working and everyone can hear in the interpretation channel. My name is Amy Ramos. It is my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's meeting. It is so great to see so many familiar faces, to see you in person in the flesh. We are all here to have a very rich conversation about paving projects, and we will have also time to hear directly from the California Air Resources Board. We will also have some time to hear directly from the Department of Pesticide Regulation. Tonight's meeting really is about you gathering some information, gathering all of the questions and answers that you have regarding paving. We also have an opportunity for you to hear directly from the other agencies that I just mentioned. Before we get started, I'd like to pass it to I'm trying to find Cesar to offer some welcoming remarks.
Hola, hola. Se me hace que lo voy a decir en español. Se me hace que la mayoría de las personas aquí hablan español. Entonces, hola, hola, ¿cómo estamos? Nomás le quiero decir gracias a todos por estar aquí. Últimamente en charlas con personas he notado que platicar con agencias o con personas en poder para muchas personas es algo de una vez en la vida, de nomás tener esa oportunidad de platicar con alguien que está a cargo del aire, del agua, para decir que merecemos mejor, ¿verdad? Entonces, cada vez que tenemos esta junta es un evento de una vez en la vida y deberíamos de nosotros sentir ese poder, ¿verdad? Porque no cualquier persona se anima a llegar a más de 5 años de juntas para mejorar la comunidad, pero hemos hecho mucho y vamos a seguir haciéndolo. Entonces, muchas gracias a ustedes por venir y al distrito, porque se me hace que llegué con hambre y estaba muy deliciosa la comida. Gracias.
Buenas tardes a todos, también yo lo voy a hacer en español. Les quería dar gracias a todos los del que están aquí en el comité. Como dijo mi compañero, estos años no son en balde, son trabajo que se ha hecho continuamente y se mira el esfuerzo que se ha demostrado, especialmente por las calles que nos van a presentar. Disculpe, I went over the agenda, pero sobre las calles, algo muy importante que la comunidad ha puesto como prioridad y que ahora sí se va a hacer un cambio muy grande en la comunidad. Es algo importante, es algo histórico y muchas gracias por ustedes, por todo el trabajo que han hecho. Gracias.
Thank you both so much. A round of applause for your community leaders. It is thanks to their efforts that have been able to gather you here today, and thanks to the effort of the Air District. So with that said, I'm going to pass it to Jessica Olson from the Air District to offer some opening remarks.
Thank you, and thank you all. Here, I'll move to the middle. It is such a pleasure to be here. Last year I had to miss it. I had just come back from maternity leave, so I was eagerly awaiting this month to celebrate the end of the year with you all. There's not much more to be said for just the dedication you all share for your community that Cesar and Bianca just shared, but I also want to recognize Cesar and Bianca for their dedication to bring information to you all, and they do such a good job bringing your concerns directly to the district. Really, on behalf of the district and on behalf of Samir, who's our APCO, we're just so encouraged by the efforts you put in and by the work we still have to do in the community, which is why we're here tonight to bring together one of the biggest pieces of AB 617, which is interagency work and that collaboration that we're able to provide with the city of Arvin, with Caltrans, with Kern County, DPR, and CARB. So we're really excited about showcasing that in person, excited about the food, and excited to get started. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you, Jessica. All right, well, I know folks are eating and you are enjoying the delicious food. It smells really good. Feel free to grab some more. I want to make sure that everyone is well fed. So to get your attention, we are going to start tonight with a random raffle. So I'm going to model for you an Air District umbrella that I have here. I want one for myself. It's so amazing. So if you are a resident participating in the stipend program, please do make sure that you checked in at the registration table. We are taking attendance by offering you that wonderful folder that you have. So if you want to make sure that your attendance is recorded, make sure that you have that and check in with our team. So we're going to start off by using that attendance sheets to raffle this. So our first winner for tonight is Mario Garcia. Where's Mario? ¿Dónde está Mario? Oh, here we go. This is for you. Congratulations. Thanks, Mario. All right, well, now that I have your attention, I'd like to bring your focus to what's in your folder. So all attendees, whether you're a CSC resident or not, thank you, we'll have Julieta, if you want to raise that folder, you can look inside. You can see inside you have our agenda for today. Those are the things that I just covered. In addition to that, you have some handouts. We're going to use those handouts to guide the conversations that you're about to have at each of these tables. So if we can face, I think that's the north end, we'll see table 1. So at table 1, we're going to have a conversation with the city of Arvin, where you will have an opportunity to talk about road improvement, sidewalk installation, and bike path updates. When you come to this table, you'll also have a handout that corresponds to that content. You'll get all your questions answered. You'll spend about 20 minutes there. And then we're going to rotate, and you're going to go to table 2, or you might start at table 2. At table 2, we have Kern County and Caltrans. At this table, you're going to hear several updates about road paving, sidewalk installation, and bike lane updates. When you come to this table, come with your questions. Come with ideas. What you see on the right-hand side there are blank pages. At those blank pages, we'll have our team taking notes. If you have action items, we'll collect those action items so that we can hold folks accountable. So we're going to do that first. After we do that rotation, then we're going to have an opportunity to go to talk directly to DPR and to talk to CARB. So with that said, if we can look at each of your tables, you'll see at the center there's a number. Do we see that number? Do you know what table number you're at? You're either at table 1 or you're at table 2. Can I get a confirmation that you know what table you're at? So you here we're at table 2, here we're at table 1. So I see folks are eating, so I'm going to ask you to take your last bite or to grab your food and, sorry, Ivan, grab your food and come to your corresponding table. So those of you who are at table 1 are going to move, and you're physically going to sit here right in front of table 1. You're going to take your translation devices, everything with you. You can leave your personal stuff at the tables. We'll be here. But if you want to continue eating, take that with you. Those of you who are at table 2, we'll move to table 2, and I'll give you 20 minutes to get all your questions answered. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do that rotation. Please do take your food with you and continue eating at those tables. Because moving is going to be so hard, I'm thinking I should do another raffle right now. Move. Good job. Here's another umbrella. We have one more. Will you give me another name or random name?
Yeah. Let me do a second.
Which one? ¿No hay dos? ¿Es Jesus Perez is here? Yeah, Jesus Perez.
Okay, look. Should I do another one? Okay.
Yeah, do another.
Guadalupe Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Guadalupe Gonzalez. Guadalupe Gonzalez.
Okay, do we have everyone move to their corresponding table? And now I have my second raffle. Let's see how much attention you're paying. Guadalupe Gonzalez, ¿dónde estás? Guadalupe Gonzalez. Guadalupe Gonzalez. Here we go, Guadalupe. De nada, woohoo. Okay.
Are they going to be speaking into a microphone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, I see almost everyone is there. So I'm going to put a timer on. And Enrique, what table are you at? Joanna, número 2? Okay. Everyone's at your table? Are you table 1 or 2? Pick a table, 1 or 2. Vámonos. Right here? Take a seat. So if there's no chair, you can take a chair with you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put a timer on, and I will interrupt your conversation in about 20 minutes or so. All right, thanks everyone for your patience. At this time, we're going to rotate. So if you were at table 1, you're going to go to table 2. You and your facilitation team will travel with you. If you were at table 2, you're going to go to table 1. If you need to get refills on food, go ahead and get your refills. All right, I see folks are getting more food, which is great. So if you and your food can migrate to the table, please. If you were at table 1, you're going to table 2. So I'm going to have you guys go to table 2. Yep. So you're going to go to the table that you were not at. If you guys can please go ahead and move to your table. Hola, Ruben. If you guys can go ahead and rotate to the next table, that would be great. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're getting our steps in, moving into our tables, and we're moving. All right, so we will start our timer now. So our 20-minute timer is starting.
Don't let anybody try.
All right, thanks everyone. We are going to rotate to the main table. Your translator will give you instructions for which channel to go to. So if you can come join us in the center table. If you'd like to get more food, please do so. We'll be sitting for the next 5 minutes. All right, to help us move to the table, we have another raffle. I feel like I'm at a show host here. Let's see. Lucia wants to win. A ver, vamos a ver. If you sit down fast enough, we're going to put you to cut the grass. All right, who's ready to work in the garden? ¿Quién está listo para usar esa máquina? A ver, ¿a quién le toca? ¿Dónde está José Amador Ojeda? ¿Dónde estás, José? Ándale, José, ganó. Órale, José. A ver si vienes a mi casa a ayudarme a limpiar, mira. A gusto, le fue bien. Un aplauso para José, que se ganó la rifa. Ok, vamos a poner a José a trabajar. Si ocupan ayuda en su casa, José está listo. All right, thank you everyone. Ok, ya que caminaron unos pasitos, pueden agarrar más pan, más comida, más a gusto. All right, is our translation equipment ready to go? All right. Let me just check in. So those of you who are in the Spanish channel, you can hear me right now when I'm talking? Yes? No. If I speak English, you hear me in Spanish? No. Yes? Okay, anybody else having problems? Okay, Diana needs a translation. Oh, right here. Right here. Diana, ¿no escucha? Anyone else? Everyone can hear me? If you need translation for Spanish, you should be able to hear in... ¿Necesita ayuda? You hear me in Spanish? I mean, yeah, no. Right here? Estefanía, aquí uno más. All right, we're just waiting 1 second. All right, we're busy tonight. We are getting our steps in, as I said before. So we're going to now spend the next 20 minutes giving you an opportunity to ask the many questions that you have of your state government agencies. So today we have the pleasure of having the California Air Resources Board here tonight to provide you many updates regarding some of the mobile emissions work that they've been doing. You're also going to hear about enforcement at this table. So if you have questions, you can't hear me? No se oye? 1 second.
I think it's a volume.
Can you hear me now? So when you come to CARB, to the California Air Resources Board table, you'll have an opportunity to learn about some of the history of enforcement. You can ask the questions that you have about enforcement, and you can hear about some of the updates regarding some of the mobile emissions work that they've been doing. Our second state agency that is here tonight is the Department of Pesticide Regulation, or DPR. We know that you all want to hear a lot of updates from them, so they are here to answer all of your questions. When you come to this table, you will notice that there's also a lot of handouts. Please do make sure that you get all your questions answered. We will have our facilitation team at each of these stations taking notes and writing down your action items for these two state agencies. So this will be a little bit different because this is 100% informational, and it'll be an opportunity for you to ask questions and for them to follow up with you. So we do imagine that at the next meeting that we have, we'll hear a lot of follow-up from these agencies on all the questions that you have. So please expect that you might not get all your questions answered tonight, but we will do our best to document those questions that you have and give you an update on those. All right, so I will invite those of you who are at table 1 to start with the California Air Resources Board, and those of you who are at table 2 to start with DPR. You'll have 20 minutes, so you can use your time. If you don't have questions for either agency, you can sit down and enjoy your meal, grab some pastries, enjoy some sweets, but we will have these 20 minutes dedicated to have those conversations. If you only have a couple questions for one table, you can navigate to the second table and use the time as you wish. So I'm going to start my timer, and you'll have, yes? Yes?
I just want to clarify really quick. We have information, but we're focused on enforcement, but we are also asking for your input on where you would like to see mobile source enforcement. So definitely come over. You can peruse the maps to put ideas up there, and you can ask us questions. And I wanted to say that James is here, who did the pesticide regulation, or not, pesticide monitoring, excuse me. And so if you have questions for him, he's here too.
Wonderful, thank you. I have one question from Bianca.
I wanted to see if you could elaborate of what are mobile sources, so community members do have at least an example of what kind of mobile sources are going to be recommended to CARB.
When they come to the table, they'll do that, or do you want an orientation now?
Orientation, so they.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. So if you can do like a quick 1 minute, 2 minute orientation, and that way you can encourage residents to come and ask and provide you feedback, then we'll have the same opportunity for DPR to do that too.
Sounds good. Hello. Hi, my name is Gabriel Pacheco. I'm with the California Air Resources Board. I work in enforcement, particularly with diesel equipment enforcement section. So what we do, we conduct enforcement on mobile sources, and for us, that would be anything that's like a semi, a big rig, reefers, anything that is off-road, and we also make sure that they have registered to the Clean Truck Check program in order to make sure that they're compliant with the new standards and regulations that have come as of 2022. So anything that's operating in California with very few exemptions should be 2010 or newer with the most advanced emissions technology reduction that there is.
Okay, thank you. So just to be fair, we'll give DPR an opportunity to do just a 1 or 2 minute orientation to the kinds of things that they can ask you questions about.
Buenas tardes para todos. Mi nombre es Iván, representando el DPR con mi compañero Jimmy. Estamos aquí para responder cualquier pregunta que tengan. Si no doy la respuesta automáticamente, me permiten 2 minutos y se las doy. Bianca, ya tengo su respuesta. Así que, por favor, acérquense en cualquier momento que deseen. Gracias.
Gracias. All right, with that said, we're going to go ahead and allocate 20 minutes for you to start at each of the tables and have that discussion and provide your input. So please join us and navigate as you please. Oh, one more thing.
Sí, una cosa más también. Tenemos aquí volantes, flyers en inglés y en español. Casi todos, si lo están en un idioma, lo voltean y van a encontrar el otro idioma. Así que agarren los que quieran en cualquier momento. Gracias.
All right, so take your time. No need to rush. Just come up and ask your questions and provide your input. Thank you. All right, thank you so much for asking all your questions. At this time, we're going to come back to the main area. All right, so if we can get folks to come to the main table. At this time, we're going to start to wrap up our conversation. So I know that at table 1 was the City of Arvin's road improvement, sidewalk installation, and bike path updates. When you went to that table, we heard directly from you all, had your input, you heard updates directly from them. Is there anything that you would like to share about questions that you had, things that you heard at that table, anything that you would want to elevate as an action item from the conversation that you had at table 1? I will repeat that again. So are there any questions or comments, anything that you would elevate, any reflections that you have about the conversation that was had at table 1, the City of Arvin road improvement, sidewalk installation, and bike path updates? Any questions? Comments? All right, hearing none. So if you did have action items, those were noted, and we will include those in the follow-up email that we will be sending you all. At table 2, you all heard updates directly from Kern County and Caltrans. I do want to note that I don't see Kern County or Caltrans here still, so if you have, oh, here we are. If you have any questions or comments or concern, any reflections that you have about the conversation that was had at table 2, now would be a time to share those comments or reflections. Any comments or questions? Joanna, you have a question? No. You want to ask in front of everyone? No? Victoria, you have a question? Right here. You? No. Okay. Okay, so no question right now. Anyone else have any reflections or comments about the conversation from table 2? Where? Yep.
So Diana actually brought up something I wanted to remind you all. If you have potholes or, illegal dumping or any kind of complaint that you want to bring to the county, there's actually a My Kern phone app. So you can download it on your smartphone, take a picture of the problem, and it'll go right to the department in question. So if it's an illegal dumping issue, it'll go right to code enforcement. If it's a pothole, it'll go right to my department in the roads department. So if you have any questions on how to download the app or you want some info, we'll be here for a couple more minutes. Let me know.
Thank you so much. Okay, so at this time, we're going to transition and do the same thing for DPR. Any questions or comments from DPR or from any of you regarding the conversations that were had at the DPR table?
Nomás quería recordarles a todos que tenemos bastantes volantes, flyers, por si quieren llevarse panfletos. Tenemos números telefónicos de cómo reportar pesticidas. Tenemos los resultados de monitoreo de la comunidad de Shafter, que está aquí a media hora. Tenemos en inglés y en español. También tenemos cómo se registran los pesticidas en California y qué es lo que hacemos en DPR. Así que no No sean tímidos, vengan por favor. Tenemos bastantes papeles que regalar. Gracias.
Gracias, Ivan. And I'll pass it to Michelle.
Yeah, thank you all. We got some really great information about some areas where there might be trucks idling. And so we can definitely send out our enforcement team in those areas. And I also wanted to let you know, if you didn't get a chance to come up here, we also have a lot of flyers. And the flyers that we have are examples of what our enforcement team would hand out to like a diesel truck driver who got pulled over for an inspection. And it's really just information for them to understand the regulations and how it works. Or they would probably often just hand it to the truck owner or something like that. But if you want to see what they get or what it's all about, we have all those kind of flyers up here. We also have a few printouts, and I could actually send it out after the meeting, information about inspections that have happened in the area. So if you want to come out and look at that. And then our EDVS tool, which is enforcement data visualization, it's really hard to say. But if you look up enforcement map, you'll be able to find this on our website. And you can check out exactly where and what kind of enforcement and citations have happened in the area. And I still welcome anybody to come up and let us know of any areas where they'd like to see enforcement come out. I don't know if you all are familiar with Peaks, but it's a system that they use where trucks basically just pull through and it measures what kind of pollutants are coming out and whether they're too high or not. And so it's like a super easy way to tell if trucks are running cleanly or not. And so if there's something like that you would like to happen within our boundaries, I definitely want you to let me know.
Thank you so much. Any general comments or reflections before I pass it to the co-leads in the Air District to provide us some closing remarks? Anyone ready to share? Yes? What is the app for the potholes? Where did she go? Do you know the name of the app? One second.
So if you go to your phone's app store and just search My Kern, it'll be the green K logo kind of thing.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Oh, and we can send that, the Air District will send that when they send the action items and summary of today. They'll put a link to that app so everyone can have access to it. All right, at this time, we're going to pass it to Cesar to provide some closing remarks.
Buenas noches otra vez. Nomás quiero decir gracias a todos. Cada vez que tenemos estas juntas en persona, se me hace que hacemos más progreso y nos movemos más rápido. Entonces, me da mucho gusto poder trabajar con ustedes en persona. Veo listas de preguntas y cosas que quieren saber más y tener más información. Entonces, todavía hay mucho trabajo que hacer. Ya hemos hecho mucho, entonces hay que disfrutar lo que hemos hecho y para que nos dé gusto en las fiestas navideñas. Entonces, muchas gracias y feliz Navidad y Año Nuevo si no nos vemos.
Gracias. Bianca?
Quería también igualmente darle las gracias a toda la comunidad que vino para la Junta, especialmente porque se está haciendo muchos cambios, muchos comentarios en los dos talleres y estoy mirando que la gente está muy motivada para seguir en este proyecto y que nos faltan mucho más, pero vamos muy adelante. Muchas gracias y feliz Navidad y feliz Año Nuevo.
Thank you all. Once again, I can't end this without thanking Cesar, Bianca, without thanking Ryan Hayashi, who maybe you guys haven't seen probably since our last he was here exchanging lawnmowers a couple of months ago with all of us. But Ryan is our Deputy Air Pollution Control Officer. We have Samir Sheikh, he's our Air Pollution Control Officer. And they've just done such a great job. They're the reason that we're allowed to come here and celebrate with you all. And it's, again, like I said earlier, it's become our favorite December tradition to spend time with you, and I'm so grateful to do it. So once again, thank you all for all of your hard work. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and have a great evening. Drive safely, please. Oh, this is Dr. Ramos. Oh, has way more exciting.
I have one last raffle. Oh my God, the drum roll for the last raffle. Francisco González. I'm keeping it. ¿Dónde está Francisco?
Air purifier.
It is an air purifier. Ahora sí, feliz año. Feliz Navidad y feliz año. Buenas noches a todos. Gracias por todo. And if you didn't have an opportunity to sign up for Toys for Tots, please do come by and register and ensure that you get signed up for Toys for Tots.